please.
Good morning, members. My name is Yáñez-Correa, Executive Director for the Texas Criminal Justice Coalition. I am very happy to be able to provide testimony on a very important issue, which is women. And I'm really happy that you are taking it in a very serious way, because it has been historically a population that has been forgotten because of the numbers. So in the testimony that you have before you, we've actually laid out a plan of assessment, placement, follow-up, and aftercare, post-release and pre-release in terms of women. So I'm just going to take my remaining time to talk about a very two specific initiatives that we've been looking at that have been very effective in terms of women who suffer from substance abuse, as well as women who have gotten into that horrible situation of prostitution. One of the programs is called the Dallas Prostitution Diversion Initiative, which is it's an amazing program. It's led by, it was identified and led by law enforcement. They were tired of seeing the same women over and over and over again. I mean, truck stops is like the worst. Basically, you're done if you're a prostitute and truck stops. It's a very horrific situation. And so what they decided to do is they did three things. They decided to identify the women. They decided to talk to them about getting out of it. And they provided wraparound services right then and there. So they identify you, and instead of arresting you and booking you into the county jail, they go ahead and place you in this, it's almost like a warehouse. And you go from one counselor to another counselor to another counselor, and so they do the assessment right then and there, so that if you want to get out of that lifestyle, it's a strictly voluntary program. If you want to get out of that lifestyle, you have the options to do that. The success rate is amazing. 45% success rate that it has demonstrated. And so when you were thinking about implementing programs to be able to effectively target the criminologic indicators that lead women to the lifestyle choices, you want to look at before they go into the prison, so that they won't get into the county jail. You want to look at the women who are inside of the prison, and then they want to look at the women that are coming out of the prison. And so in all of these pieces, from the beginning, middle, end, you want to look at those components: the assessment, the placement, the follow-up. And you have to remember that a lot of these women have gone through some horrific trauma. I mean, we're talking about sexual assault, we're talking about family violence, we're talking about, they've been dehumanized in many ways that none of us would even fathom. So it's...
Senator Hinojosa has a question.
Yeah, would any of these women be victims of human trafficking?
I'm sure that there has been. I mean, a lot of the women who come here who, are told you're going to do, you're going to, clean houses, for example, and all of a sudden you're forced to do labor that I wouldn't even consider that labor, right? It's horrific thing. So,
we've always pushed trying to put up a set of programs to help people who are addicted to drugs, get them off drugs, statewide. Do we have anything similar dealing with women who are charged with prostitution?
Well, I think you should. I mean, you should create the fact that you're having this hearing, and the fact that you're looking at strategies to really identify what is happening in these women's lives, and how you can stop the victimization, how you can stop the trauma. And I know it's challenging when we're thinking about, they committed a crime and they have to be punished. And that's exactly right. I mean, if it's a law and you cannot do something and you've committed a crime, but you have to look at the root causes of that behavior so that the pattern will stop. So I highly commend a program like that to deal with, with women who've been victims of that.
Most of those programs, I guess, the state itself doesn't have any type of program like we do with the substance abuse programs.
Not in that sense.
And I guess we need to find ways to probably encourage the private sector, more churches to get involved, provide those programs, and help some of the prosecutors maybe do diversions to some of these women who are being charged.
And I've actually included another program that has been renounced nation. I mean, it's just an amazing program that specifically does that for substance abuse. It's also included in your package. It's called the LEAD program, and basically prosecutors, the law enforcement, defenders, public defenders, they all got together and they decided to come up with a strategic plan to identify people who have suffered from substance abuse problems, mental health problems, prostitution, and that have gotten them through the whole wraparound services that have created amazing impact. And actually, the brain behind that program travels all around the nation, and they were just recently in Nuevo Mexico to talk about those strategies, and I'm sure that they would be more than happy to provide their resources here. So,
thank you.
So yes. Hi. Thank you.
Questions?